Hey guys, I'm Aaron. Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, the garage is still in progress and is quite a mess right now. But in an effort to clean it up and make some more room, I added this so I can put my spare wheels up on the wall and out of the way. I'll put a link to this thing from Amazon in the description. It was really cheap, super easy to install. You just find a stud and you screw one in there, and this thing is spaced out so it can be 48 inches, I believe, so that you can line this other one up with another stud. So you just measure the distance from the ground on the second one, make sure it's the same as this one, make sure they are level. It takes just 3 bolts to screw them in, and then you just connect these 2 middle bars. But after doing that, I realized that it is tough to get them up there. So I took that one up on a ladder, and I decided I'm never gonna do that again. So I tried to find a solution to this. And what I am going to do is take this piece of metal in this box and attach a cheap $100 winch that I got online on Amazon. And I'm gonna try to make myself a little system to pull them up. So let's see if it works well. I guess I said winch, technically it is an electric hoist. This is what comes in the package. You get some nice strong straps. You get little mounting brackets, this hook, this, and the actual unit itself. And this little controller right here, a little up, down, I don't know, emergency stop maybe. So my plan is gonna be to take these things that it comes with, put them over this thing with this thing mounted on my ceiling, and attach the hoist to the bottom of this. And I think what I'm going to try to do is to leave just enough of a gap, like, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, however thick this is, from the ceiling. So have the ceiling be right here in one area so that I can slide this back and forth and move the hoist. But I don't know, we'll see what happens when I start mounting this. So mounting the bar is going to be the hard part, obviously. I'm just going to use a stud finder, try to mark some holes up there, because obviously it needs to get into the studs. So I am 6'1". I mounted this thing probably 6 feet 4 inches above the floor so that I can walk under it without having to hit my head on it. And I have plenty of room up here for another one if I need to add one eventually, so the hoist should be able to supply tires to both of them. So the key is to get up there, measure far enough off the wall so that when I raise a wheel up, it will clear the lip of this, and I can just push them over and guide them in place, drop them down. So let me get a measurement for that. So this thing comes off the wall 22 inches. My wheels are, let's see, radius of about 14 inches. So that is 36 altogether that I would need it away from there. So we'll make it like 38 inches. All right, I got some big lag bolts that I used to mount my TV that I have available here. I decided not to use these because I don't think these are gonna be quite strong enough, so better safe than sorry. I'll get some more of these later for my TV. So just a big lag bolt with a washer. So typically I like to pre-drill about half the diameter of the bolt that's going in there. So pre-drilling will not only make it easier for the bolt to go in, but it will also make sure that you are on the stud. Not gonna lie, that kind of sucked by myself on a 12-foot ceiling, but I pre-drilled that center hole and held it up there. Let me see if I can show you guys. So right now there's only one bolt right there holding it in. So I'm just gonna measure the ends from the side of the wall just to make sure they are equal distance. Then I'm gonna mark my next holes for where the rafters are and pre-drill and attach 2 more. And you can see that there's still a gap right here. I'm gonna close that in a little more. So that's gonna alter my plan a little bit since the middle of it kind of lines up with the middle of this. I was hoping to be able to have it slide back and forth across the middle, but now it's gonna slide back and forth between the center of that rail and the left part of that rail, where I'm gonna have to put the other bolts. So I have to go ahead and put those brackets up there first before I put that bolt in, or I won't be able to get them up there. So I measured up there to make them even, started pre-drilling through the hole, and then while that bar is still movable, I swung it out of the way so that I could pre-drill all the way into the ceiling because my bit wasn't long enough to go through there. So before I put that bolt in, I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. I'm gonna line this back up with my pre-drilled hole, mark over here where this one needs to be, swing it out of the way and pre-drill again. All right, I got all 3 lag bolts attached, and there's just like an 1/8 of an inch clearance now so that those little brackets can slide just a bit. Whew, so now this part's gonna be fun. So you just take these provided bolts, and these pieces on top are threaded. So I just have to stick this through the top of the bracket and carry this thing up there. So hopefully I can find somebody to help me carry this because it's pretty heavy. Okay, it's up. There was a slight change of plans though. Since the ceiling is so tall, I could not hold it up there while somebody else was screwing in those little brackets. So what we ended up doing is taking down the far left lag bolt and attaching the brackets to this thing, and then I held this thing up and slid it on from the left-hand side while he held the weight of it. And we put the lag bolt back in. So that was much easier than messing with it way up at the ceiling. And so it still has some play, so I can slide it left or right. So yeah, this lag bolt will prevent it from falling off. It'll stop when it gets to there. Make sure you cut off that little rubber band. All right, first test, let's try it out. Aha, this button is like an emergency stop, so you have to twist it and then it pops out. Now. So I lowered it all the way down, used one of the provided straps and wrapped it around my wheel. And I just connected it here, and we're gonna pull it up. Oh my God, yes. That is so much easier than lifting them up there. I was thinking about adding another outlet for this thing to plug into in the ceiling, but that amount of effort really makes no sense to me since I'm only gonna use this a couple times a year. I'm just gonna leave the cords sitting on top of it, I think, and grab an extension cord. So yeah, pretty easy install and very, very useful. So I'm very happy with it. And again, I'll put links to all of these things in the description so you can get them on Amazon if you're interested. If you have any other tips or tricks, let me know in the comments. I hope you guys will subscribe, and I will see you next time. Check out the other videos on the garage build. It's starting to come along nicely.